Her moans filled the room, soft and breathless. My wife, Olivia, was lying on my brother's bed, her bare body tangled with his. His hands roamed her skin, his lips tracing the curves that once belonged to me. She gasped his name, whispered words of passion, completely lost in him. And I stood in the doorway, watching, burning with rage, my heart pounding like a drum of war. But I didn't move. I didn't make a sound. I just stood there, letting the betrayal sink deep into my soul. Because in that moment, I made a decision. I would not let this go. I would not be the fool they thought I was. No, I would make them pay. My name is Landon Wolf. I'm 35 years old, a successful businessman with more money than I know what to do with. I built my real estate empire from the ground up, working day and night to give my wife the perfect life. And this is how she repaid me? With my own brother? Olivia Wolf, 28, was my world. I loved her, cherished her, gave her everything. And Killian Wolf, 33, my younger brother, was the one person I trusted the most. He was charming, smart, a respected surgeon. But behind my back, he was also a snake. They had been sleeping together for months, maybe even longer. And I had been blind, stupid. But the worst part? Olivia was pregnant, and the baby? It wasn't mine. That night, I didn't say a word. I climbed into bed beside Olivia like nothing had happened. She curled up against me, sighing softly. "You feel tense," she murmured, running her fingers over my chest. I forced a smile. "Just tired, baby." She kissed my cheek, completely unaware that I knew everything, that I had seen it all, that I was already planning my revenge. The next morning, while she was in the shower, I grabbed her phone and went through her messages. My hands shook as I read the disgusting text between her and Killian. "I can't wait to feel you again." "I think Landon has no idea. We're safe." "This baby will have your eyes, Killian. I love you." Your eyes, not mine. I gritted my teeth and sent every message, every picture, and every call log to my own phone. I needed proof. And now I had it. The first thing I did was call my divorce lawyer. I wanted everything. The house, the money, the cars. She was getting nothing. Next, I turned my attention to Killian. He cared about one thing more than Olivia: his career. He was a top surgeon, respected by everyone. But what would happen if a scandal leaked? What if people found out he had been sleeping with his own brother's wife? I smiled to myself as I gathered every text, every call, every secret. I wasn't just going to expose him. I was going to ruin him. But before I made my final move, I had one more step. Olivia's baby shower. She had planned a big celebration, inviting all our friends, our family, even Killian. She had no idea what was coming. That night, she lay in bed beside me, resting her head on my chest. "I love you," she whispered. I kissed her forehead, smiled. "I love you too, sweetheart." She had no idea that tomorrow I was going to destroy her world. The next morning, Olivia woke up excited. She kissed me on the cheek and smiled. "Today is going to be amazing," she said. I smiled back, pretending I didn't know the disaster she was walking into. She had spent weeks planning her baby shower. It was going to be big, held at an expensive venue, decorated with flowers and gold balloons. Our families, friends, and even some of my business partners were coming. Olivia wanted it to be perfect, but I had other plans. Before the party, I met my lawyer at his office. "It's all set," he told me. "Once you sign these, your wife gets nothing." I signed the papers without hesitation. Olivia would lose everything: the house, the cars, the credit cards. She had no idea that when she walked back into our home after the party, it wouldn't be hers anymore. Next, I sent a message to a journalist I knew, someone who loved a good scandal. Me, how much would you pay for a story about a famous surgeon having an affair with his brother's wife? Journalist, depends. Got proof? Me, plenty. I attached screenshots of Olivia's texts with Killian. The journalist responded instantly. This will break the internet. I smirked. Good. The party was packed. People hugged Olivia, congratulated her, told her how beautiful she looked. She laughed, glowing with fake happiness. I spotted Killian standing near the food table, sipping his drink like nothing was wrong. His eyes met mine, and for a second, I saw something there. Was it guilt? Fear? He had no idea what I was about to do. The event planner handed me a microphone. It's time for your speech, she said with a smile. I took a deep breath and walked to the center of the room. Everyone, I said, my voice calm but strong, thank you all for coming. Today is a special day. We are here to celebrate my wife and her soon-to-be-born child. People clapped. Olivia beamed at me, eyes full of love. I smiled back. But, I continued, before we celebrate, I want to share something important. I reached into my pocket and pulled out my phone. I tapped the screen and the projector behind me lit up. A slideshow of text messages appeared. Messages between Olivia and Killian. Gasps filled the room. Someone dropped their glass. The sound of shattering echoed in the silence. I turned to Olivia, whose face had turned completely pale. Her hands trembled. These, I said, are messages between my wife and my brother. They have been having an affair behind my back. And to make it even worse, the baby she's carrying, it's not mine. The room exploded into whispers. Olivia's mother burst into tears. My father looked at Killian like he was ready to punch him in the face. Killian took a step forward. Landon, let's talk about this. I laughed, actually laughed. Talk? You mean like how you talk to my wife in my own bed? He opened his mouth, then closed it. There was nothing he could say. Olivia broke down. Landon, please, I can explain. I held up a hand. Oh, you'll have plenty of time to explain, but not to me. I turned to the crowd. I've already filed for divorce. Olivia is losing everything. And as for Killian, I glanced at my phone. Well, I just sent those texts to the hospital board. I wonder what they'll think of a doctor who sleeps with his own brother's wife. Killian's face drained of color. You enjoy your careers while you still have them, I cut in. Oh, wait. Olivia doesn't have one. And Killian, you won't have yours for much longer. The room was chaos. People whispered, shaking their heads. Some walked out. Olivia collapsed into a chair, sobbing. I handed the microphone back to the event planner. Sorry for ruining the party. Actually, no, I'm not. And with that, I walked out, never looking back. That night, I celebrated alone. I poured myself a drink, staring out at the city lights from my penthouse. But this wasn't over yet. I wanted to make sure Olivia and Killian felt pain, not just tonight, not just tomorrow. I wanted to make sure they suffered for a long, long time. And I knew exactly how to do it. The next morning, I woke up to dozens of missed calls and messages. Olivia, please, Landon, talk to me. Let me explain. Killian, you went too far, man. You're ruining my life. My mother, Landon, this is a family matter. Let's not make things worse. My father, good job, son. That bastard deserved it. I smirked. Oh, I was just getting started. I turned off my phone and enjoyed my morning coffee. I hadn't slept this peacefully in years. A few hours later, there was a loud banging on my door. I already knew who it was. I opened it slowly, and there she was, Olivia. Her face was red, mascara running down her cheeks. Her once perfect hair was a mess. She looked destroyed. "Landon," she whispered, stepping forward, "please, let me talk to you." I leaned against the door frame, arms crossed. "Talk? Oh, now you want to talk. Go ahead, Olivia. I'm listening." She sniffled. "It wasn't supposed to happen like this. I never meant to hurt you." I chuckled. "You didn't mean to hurt me. Oh, so you just accidentally fell into my brother's bed?" She winced. It just happened. I was lonely. You were always busy with work, and Killian..." I laughed in her face. "So because I was working my ass off to give you a good life, you decided to spread your legs for my brother, and you want me to feel sorry for you?" Her lip trembled. "I love you, Landon. I never stopped loving you." I shook my head. "No, Olivia, you don't love me. You love what I gave you. The money, the lifestyle, the security. And guess what? It's gone now." Her breath hitched. But we can fix this." I smirked. "Fix this? Oh, sweetheart, there's nothing left to fix. You're out of my house, out of my life, out of my bank account. Go live with Killian. Oh, wait, his career is about to crash too." Her eyes widened. "What do you mean?" I pulled out my phone and showed her an article. It had gone viral. "Famous surgeon caught sleeping with his brother's wife. Scandal rocks the medical community." The hospital had already launched an investigation. Killian was suspended. His reputation destroyed. Olivia covered her mouth with her hands. "Oh my God." I smiled. "You wanted a future with him, right? Well, enjoy your new life. Broke, jobless, and hated by everyone." She started sobbing. "Please, Landon, I have nowhere to go." I shrugged. "Not my problem." And with that, I slammed the door in her face. A few hours later, I got a text from Killian. "Killian, you ruined my life. I lost my job. Are you happy now?" I stared at the message for a few seconds. Then I replied, "Me, not yet." I still had one more move left to play. That night, I met up with Sienna, my ex from years ago. We had dated before I met Olivia, but we had stayed friends, and, well, she always had a thing for me. I told her everything about what had happened. She smirked. "So, let me get this straight. Your wife cheated on you with your brother, got pregnant, and now she's crying because she lost everything?" I nodded. She leaned in close, whispering in my ear, "What if I help you make them suffer even more?" I raised an eyebrow. "I'm listening." She smiled. "Let's make them jealous as hell." That's when the idea hit me. Revenge wasn't just about destroying their lives. It was about showing them that I was happier than ever. So the next day, I took Sienna out. We went to the most expensive restaurant in town. I made sure to take a lot of pictures, smiling, laughing, holding hands. Then, I posted them online. It didn't take long before Olivia saw them. Her reaction? Priceless. She called me 20 times, sent me paragraphs of texts. "Olivia, you moved on that fast? Was I nothing to you?" I smiled. "Me, you were everything to me until you weren't." Killian saw the pictures too. He sent me a simple message. "Killian, you win?" Damn right, I won. But I wasn't done just yet. I had one final move left, and it was going to break them completely. A week after the scandal, I was sitting in my penthouse, sipping a glass of whiskey, enjoying the peace that I had earned. I had taken everything from them. Olivia and Killian were ruined. But I wasn't done yet. No, I wanted to hear them break. That evening, as I was scrolling through my messages, my phone started ringing. Unknown number. I smirked. I already knew who it was. I answered. "Landon?" Olivia's voice was barely a whisper. She sounded weak, broken. I leaned back, sipping my drink. Olivia, I said, my tone cold, to what do I owe the pleasure? She let out a shaky breath. I have nothing, Landon. I lost everything. The house, the car, the money. Killian, he's not the man I thought he was. I chuckled. Oh? Did you finally figure that out? What gave it away? The fact that he's a lying, cheating snake? Or the fact that he has no future now? She sobbed. I was stupid. I don't love him. I never did. I was lonely. You were always working, and he was there. It was a mistake. I wish I could take it all back. I sighed, acting bored. You can't. Please, she whispered. I don't have anywhere to go. I don't have any money. Her voice cracked. I'm scared, Landon. I leaned forward, my voice dropping. And you think I care? She gasped. You weren't scared when you were screwing my brother in our bed, I continued, my voice dripping with venom. You weren't scared when you laughed at me behind my back, when you planned a future with him. You weren't scared then, Olivia, so don't call me now begging for my help. She cried harder, but I felt nothing, not even a drop of sympathy. You made your choice, I said coldly. Now you can live with it. I hung up, blocked her number, and that was it. She was gone, but I wasn't done yet. A few days later, I decided to pay Killian a visit. I wanted to see the destruction in his eyes. I found him at a small bar, drowning in alcohol, looking miserable. His once perfect hair was a mess, his expensive suit was wrinkled, and there were dark circles under his eyes. I walked up to him and sat down. He looked up and froze. Landon, he muttered. His voice was hoarse. What are you doing here? I smirked. Just came to see how rock bottom looks. He flinched. You ruined my life. I laughed. Actually laughed. Oh, did I? Or did you ruin your own life when you decided to sleep with my wife? His jaw clenched. He shook his head. I never meant to hurt you, man. It just happened. I swear. I took a sip of my drink. Just happened? I repeated, raising an eyebrow. You just happened to betray your own brother? You just happened to get my wife pregnant? You just happened to lie to my face? He lowered his head, ashamed. But I wasn't done. You lost your job, your reputation, your career, your future. And guess what? I leaned in, smirking. I don't feel sorry for you. Not one damn bit. Killian's hands shook as he gripped his glass. Do you know what the best part is? I said. Olivia is suffering too. She called me, begging for help. She's alone, broke, miserable. The two of you deserve each other. His face twisted with regret. I don't even want her anymore. I laughed again. Oh, I know. That's the funniest part. You threw away everything for her, and now you don't even want her. What a joke. He exhaled sharply, rubbing his face. Landon, I messed up. I know that. But you really had to destroy my whole life? I stared at him for a long moment. Then I leaned in, my voice deadly serious. You destroyed mine first. I stood up, threw some cash on the table, and turned to leave. Before I walked away, I glanced over my shoulder. Oh, and Killian? I smirked. I hope you enjoy rock bottom. You're going to be there for a long, long time. Then I walked out. And I never looked back. A month later, I was happier than ever. I had moved on, completely free of Olivia and Killian's drama. Sienna and I traveled, partied, lived life to the fullest. She made me laugh. She made me feel wanted. And most importantly, she never betrayed me. Meanwhile, Olivia and Killian had hit absolute rock bottom. Olivia was living in a tiny, run-down apartment. She had no job, no money, no future. I heard through mutual friends that she had tried calling every person she knew for help, but no one wanted to be involved with a woman who cheated on her husband with his own brother. Killian? He was drowning in debt, trying to find work, but no hospital would touch him after his scandal. He had lost everything. And I was thriving. No regrets, no sadness, just satisfaction. I had given them exactly what they deserved, and it felt damn good.